Should be topic number one tonight. How a white woman got rid of black male genocide advocate Cynthia G. And black women are upset about it. This comes with a link. And that link is going to take us to YouTube. Another Neferkari Dessalines video. Like I say, tag that brother, invite him to come through and chop it up with us. We're going to watch the video. And then we'll discuss it.
Yeah, we back. Now, brothers, man, they're going to be mad about this one. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about the reason why Cynthia G got her channel terminated by YouTube and why she'll most likely never be back on the platform ever again. And I guarantee it's something that you would not expect. Now, before we get into the main event, let's take a look at some of the reactions on social media. This person said they aborted her channels. Ha, man, that's crazy. This person said YouTube divested and aborted her channels and nothing of value was lost. This person said some white woman posted an article about her video talking about the abortion of fill in the blank. Take a look up on the screen, as you can see. And I think YouTube scrambled to abort her channel after doing nothing about it for so long. Now, we're going to discuss that later on in the video. And to be honest, this is a crazy plot twist in the events. And it reminds me a while back, I forget when, I dropped a video. Take a look up on the screen. It was about 3 months ago. The video was entitled, Pro-Black Divester Gets Exposed by a White Woman. And in that video, for those who've been following me for a very long time, it was funny because this black woman had went viral, right? This lady had went viral. She was a black girl. She had a white boyfriend, right? And then she went viral because she was on TikTok. She was on social media, talking down on white folks, the fake pro-blacks, always, talking about the white man. Meanwhile, they dating the white man. They sleeping with the white man. They chasing after the white man. But they talking about, oh, the white man this and the white man that and the white man this. So this white woman who had a Twitter account with over 2 million followers decided to expose her as the fake pro-black divester that she was. And it went viral all over social media. And that video got 13,000 views. And this situation with Cynthia G is kind of similar, but it's not really the same, but it's kind of similar. And we're going to explain that in today's video. Now, take a look up on the screen. Brothers, you are looking at the woman who is responsible for eliminating Cynthia G from social media, right? A lady by the name of Ashley Bellinger, senior policy reporter at arstechnica.com. Back on the 11th of October, she wrote this article. A YouTube channel calling for aborting black pregnancies has been temporarily restricted by YouTube. YouTube has removed one video calling for black abortions, but it left others up. At the top, it says, profiting off racism. Now, I'm just going to give the disclaimer. I don't want any Cynthia G fans coming into my comment section talking about black men got to have racial solidarity, black men standing with the white women. Listen, all y'all Cynthia G supporters, y'all be sleeping with the white man. Y'all be laying down on your knees. Y'all be getting down on your knees for the white man. Y'all be bending over for the white man. So don't try to lecture black men what they doing with the white women. I ain't trying to hear it. But let's get into this article written by Ashley Bellinger. Let's get into it. YouTube has removed one video and stopped monetizing YouTuber Cynthia G's channel after finding that the account has repeatedly violated YouTube's policy by posting videos over the past 2 years that accumulated tens of thousands of views calling for black abortions. The decision came after an ARS reader asked ARS to investigate why these videos do not violate YouTube's community guidelines. The video that YouTube removed was titled, If Aborting Black Males is Not the Solution, Then What Is? It was posted in November 2021, and as of last week, it still qualified for ad monetization. In the video, Cynthia G said that a lot of people considered the solution to be something horrible that is genocidal and provided a racist justification, saying that the only way to counter black male violence is to eliminate black men. YouTube did not remove other videos flagged by ARS on the same topic. One video titled, Do Black Women Benefit from Birthing Black Males? Directs hate at black male children because they turn into black male adults, which equals the enemy of black women, and advocates for black women to abort male fetuses because if we don't give birth to them, then they no longer exist. Another video titled, Should We Continue to Give Birth to Them? Similarly suggests the best path to eliminate black men is for black women to eliminate them through their wombs. According to YouTube, The removed video violated the platform's hate speech policy, which prohibits content that promotes violence or hatred against individuals based on protected attributes, including claims that groups or individuals are mentally inferior based on attributes such as race. YouTube did not clarify why the videos that remain online do not violate the community guidelines. Instead, it provided ARS with a statement. We issued a strike to the channel for Cynthia G for violating our hate speech policy and suspended monetization on this channel following repeated violations of our YouTube partner program policies. Because the channel was issued a strike, it has been prevented from uploading videos for 1 week. YouTube said that any attempt to upload videos or to alternate channels will result in the termination of Cynthia G's channel. Round of applause. Baby, make that ass clap. Let's continue. Anyways, y'all can go check the rest of the article out. You know, go check it out. Yeah, it was actually because a lot of women came into my comment section, right, on the videos I did about Cynthia G, making it seem like black men were the reason why she got terminated. Nah, black men had a pretty much laissez-faire policy. Black men had a policy of we just gonna ignore it. At least that was my policy anyway. I was like, man, like Cynthia G and her cohort of females, they're not really a factor in real life. Like I told you, the reason why they have such an intimate, in-depth scientific knowledge about the bottom of the barrel black man is because that's the only man they qualify for. They don't qualify for the high-achieving, high-flying black man. They don't run in the same circles as the top tier, top of the class black man. The only man they come in contact with is the black man standing on the corner, smoking a cigarette, smoking a Black and Mild, you know what I mean? Smoking some beer from last night, you know, like smoking an old blunt that he put out 2 days ago. That's the only black man that they qualify for, man. They don't qualify for the high-achieving, high-flying black man. Also, you got to understand, a lot of these women come from backgrounds of trauma, backgrounds of hardship. They didn't grow up under the guidance, under the love, under the structure of a black man that loved them and cared about them and gave them everything they ever wanted. They didn't have that. A lot of these women in her comment section, in her audience, in her fan base, they come from families of failure. They come from bloodlines of failure. They come from lineages of failure that never accomplished anything of importance, anything of significance. Their father was a bum. Their grandfather was a bum. Their baby daddy was a bum. Their brother is a bum. I remember earlier today, this lady jumped into my comment section in the last video I dropped on Cynthia G this morning, and she was like, oh, y'all talking about Cynthia G, but you black men still gonna be in the penitentiary and things like that. Keep in mind, she jumped into my comment section, a black man from a top 1% family who doesn't even have a misdemeanor on his record, bro. The most crime I ever committed was I forgot to pay my parking tickets, and that shit ended up accumulating to like $1,000. That's the most I got on my record, man. But she come into my comment section talking about you still gonna be in the penitentiary, things like that. That's because that is the environment that they come from. They're projecting their lineages of failure onto all black men. They're projecting their father, who was a failure, onto all black men. They're projecting their baby daddy, who was a failure, onto all black men. And it's a sad reality, but you know, it is what it is, man. Now, in terms of how I feel about Cynthia G getting her channel knocked off, I mean, she should have diversified her revenue streams, man. She should have diversified her income a long time ago. And to be honest, what is the end game? What is the end game of her brand, right? Like, what is the end game really? Like, when I say end game, I'm talking about when you're 79 years old, 82 years old. Like, what is like the end goal look like? Like, are you gonna pass down? Are you gonna pass down the YouTube channel to your kids, to your offspring? Is that gonna be like the family legacy? My YouTube channel, like, what is gonna be what is the end game really, right? What is the end game? Because I mean, you really thought you was gonna get rich talking how you was talking for that long? Come on, man. Stop it, man. Stop it. You know, it was good while it lasted, though. $15,000 a month approximately. It was good while it lasted. But like I said in my last video, Cynthia G, you're not an integral part of society, right? You got your channel knocked off and nothing of value was lost. Nothing of value was lost. The world kept spinning. The world kept moving. You're not really a big factor or contributor to society in any real way. They talking about Cynthia G was making $15,000. Man, I just seen a check from Medicaid, right? I just seen a check from Medicaid that is equivalent to about 9 months worth of Cynthia G's YouTube channel revenue in 2 weeks worth of prescriptions being filled. In 2 weeks, Medicaid sent, listen, I ain't even gonna say what Medicaid sent in the mail. Medicaid sent 9 months worth of Cynthia G YouTube revenue in the mail. All right. So listen, Cynthia G, baby, like, sit down, baby girl. Just sit down, man. Sit down. And like I said in the beginning of the video, I don't want to hear anything about racial solidarity, none of that nonsense. Okay. Black men have no obligation to be in racial solidarity with divestors, swirlers, women who listen to Cynthia G. There is no solidarity between you and black men. Okay, so listen, I even told black men, if you got to choose between a swirler, a divestor, a black woman that dates outside her race, between her and a white woman, I told black men, man, choose the white woman, bro. Choose the white woman. You might as well choose the white woman. If you're gonna choose a swirler or a divestor versus a white woman, I told black men, choose the white woman, bro. Choose the white woman, man. It makes more logical sense. I already told y'all my preferences. At number one, the black woman is number one, but the intelligent black woman is number one. The intelligent black woman is number one. But the swirler, the divestor, she's at the bottom of the list, bro. She's at the bottom of the list, bro. My list goes like this: intelligent black woman, and everybody else, right? Everybody else after that. And then the swirler and the divestor is at the bottom of the list, bro. It's at the bottom of the list. And I'd rather be alone before I choose a goddamn divestor or a swirler or anything in between. I even got a whole playlist full of damn near 50 videos. Take a look up on the screen entitled Black Men Should Stay Away from Swirlers and Divestors. Man, I'm serious about that. Go check that out. Classic playlist full of classic videos. But anyways, man, this video is not going to be too long. Brothers, I know they're going to come into the comment section and try to talk down, oh, the black man standing with the white woman. Listen, these the same women. This the same women that be sleeping with the white man. Don't let them try to lecture you about, oh, the black man standing with the white woman. These the same women that be sleeping with white dudes. Anyways, man, it's your boy Neferkari, that's Celine, back in the building. Yes, indeed. Cash App up on the screen, and I'm gone. Peace.
Reincarnated, I'm back in the original fashion. I left on a horse and came.
That's an interesting conclusion he kind of came to. I'm not going there. I personally believe the divestors and whatnot need to be sent into the forbidden forest. But I ain't gonna sit here and say I'll take a white woman before I go deal with one of them. I'd rather be alone before I go deal with one of them, to be honest. But or to go take a white woman instead. But I get his idea. We gotta, you see, when people traitor us to the race, men and women, you got to get them up out of here. And I don't believe in this. These mature adults can be redeemed. You know better, man. We've gone through this. It's like a white person wearing blackface during Halloween. Dude, you knew better. You know what I mean? So this idea that these folks don't know no better, me personally, I don't believe in it. There's something innate within you that's supposed to stop you from doing certain things. And me personally, I say get them up out of here. You know, Trighabi262 in the chat says, only thing I don't agree is choosing a white woman, but on point, we shouldn't have no sympathy for those who destroy us that are black. Yeah, I agree. The white woman thing is a little too far. But Buana, what say you to this?
Yeah, I like I like Neferkari. Neferkari he's a young brother. He's a little precocious. He comes from a functional black background where he has seen functional black people performing up to their optimal level, and his vision of the world is in a particular way, and man, it caused him to be very cocky. So when he hears about the Cynthia G's of the world, it's like, what the hell is this? You know what I mean? It's funny because I know men like him. I understand younger men like him, you know, because they coming from out of situations where they have seen highly successful and functional black people. So he don't understand how to make a connection with dysfunctional ones, you know. And it's our job sometimes is to reel the brothers in, to reel our younger brothers in, because their view of the world is just a little bit different, and sometimes it could be a little bit distorted. So because we live a little bit longer on the planet, it's our job to guide them a little bit in looking at the world differently, you know, and trying to not disassociate yourself from black people, even though you know that they are dysfunctional, and even though you know that sometimes they could be backwards in their thinking. You know, just try to Our job is to make them understand, and that's my job. That's my job because I understand men like him. I really do, and he can't be bothered just like I can't be bothered. But you can't run away from your people. You can't run away from your people, and I understand your side too as well, Koku. Us being of a certain age, we thinking on a level of black first, and we ain't gonna never disassociate ourselves from that. And you also believe too, in a certain instance, that adult people can't be reformed. So you ain't trying either. You charging them to the game too, because you come from a particular school of thought as well. But in terms of this prompt, I am happy. I am happy that this lady was able to do something that many of us probably thought internally to do, which is really to get this lady up out of this platform. And she ain't the only one. Cynthia, there's a lot of Cynthia G's on in YouTube. And the antithesis in Cynthia G's, which is black men who actually have disdain for black women. They must be deplatformed as well. They must be deplatformed as well. Because we have no space for both of these kinds of characters. Unfortunately, these characters exist. So what do? I say last week that Pan-Africanism is going to have a challenge in the future. A challenge that we have not yet come to terms with and really seriously addressed, which is that there are black people who have the skin complexion of blackness, wear the visage of blackness, but they are complete white supremacists. And they find themselves in our communities, and they are really doing things that are very detrimental to our communities. And then on the other side of that, you have white women who advocate for the removal of such kinds of people on public platforms. They say they shouldn't have a space to even exist. Now, if I'm looking at it from a distance and looking at that scenario, I am saying that she is advocating on my behalf, because she is advocating for, you can't have black people who are advocating for the abortion of black male babies. And she is standing up against that. She is doing the work really, she's doing my work. So I can support what she's doing. I can support what the white woman is doing. I can't support what the black woman is doing. So this is going to become the challenge in the future, because I don't know, you have a lot of people like these that exist within our communities, Koku. What do you do? What do you do? But I'll leave it there, brother.
Yeah, that's a great question you just asked. What do you do? And by the way, if we're being super honest, that's how we get sabotaged too. When we have these detractors of our own complexion, and then here comes the white savior, who, quote unquote, white savior, in this case, a white woman, who comes along and gets this black woman up out of there, Cynthia G, up out of there, then what does that do to your people? That's a dangerous thing too. What does that do to your people? Does that now, shift your people's faith into, towards these other people because they stepped up, they spoke up for us? And I think there's a lot of that happens. This guy in the U.S., Bernie Sanders, is one of those guys who stays relevant because he can say he marched with MLK. So that's it. I mean, you're absolutely correct. This is a part of the game that we have to be very cautious of. I say personally, I don't care for the white woman in this, and I don't care for Cynthia G in this. Everything is politics is here in the chat. This brother reminds me of Trigger Happy 262. He listens to Shoot the Breeze, and he drops like very, very detailed comments afterwards. I appreciate him finally catching the live. One time he says, "Hey folks, catching the live for the first time, just touching briefly. We'll rewatch later." In reference to Cynthia G, it's worth mentioning the black men that were bashing black women prior to the rise of CG. Absolutely. I mean, but at the same time, I think the guys like Tommy Sotomayor, I think they're a foregone conclusion. We don't even we don't even acknowledge those people no more. You know, he says both sexes have been messing up and funded by nefarious forces. Trigger Happy 262 says Pan Africanism must answer the question of what is the glue, or what is the orientation, what is the identity of an African. That solves this, and we can differentiate between Africans who are lost. He says being an African must mean something. This goes back to our last week conversation. You guys should check that out. He says being an African must mean something. It must mean a shared language, origin, shared genealogy or race, shared spirituality or culture, etc. Everything is politics says, I'm sure various black people were reporting people like Cynthia G for years, but weren't taken seriously. I certainly was. This is everything is politics. But here comes a white savior. Yeah, that's the thing. And we got to be careful about how our people view these kind of white saviors. The Forecast, from the Forecast Radio, he used to like to talk about the John Brown syndrome. You know, we got to be very careful of that as well. Let me welcome in our boy, Real Black Gentleman this week. Real Black Gentleman, RBG, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm straight.
Good. What say you to the prompt?
Well, it's like I think that it's how would I say it? I'm glad that she's not able to necessarily disseminate the level of you know what I'm saying? She didn't have no business talking about that. In the same breath, like, you gotta be careful about how people become deplatformed, because it could be her this week, but then it could be like 10 people who you agree with next week, very quietly and very unceremoniously. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, the nature of this whole of YouTube in and of itself is really it's naturally I find it to be incredibly, like, I'm still wary of the whole platform. I think there's a lot of social engineering involved with just being on here. Like, little things like when they took away the thumbs down button, it took away a signal of people's earnest discontent with what's being produced. Even the term content is a loaded, very, very, very loaded term. People speak of being content creators. You know, when you're content, you're happy, right? You know what I'm saying? So if you're producing content, you're producing happiness, right? You know, right? You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where if I find that what you're doing is not contentful, I'm not able to, you know what I'm saying? The whole idea of being able to express that and have other people, you know, signify that, you know what I'm saying, through a down, thumbs down. That goes back to everyone's a winner. You know, we don't want to hurt no one's feelings type, you know what I'm saying? When people got, you know what I'm saying, back in the day, when people got that thumbs down, or, you know what I'm saying, or them thumbs ups was really contentious, people would see that and would clown that. It would be great to see. But now, because of the social engineering, you're not allowed to demonstrate discontent. And so, because you're not able to demonstrate it, you know, on the page, it will be easy enough for everyone to see how many thumbs downs there will be on her page. Now it's this nebulous kind of like, well, a lot of people are saying it, but it's not resounding all of a sudden. And then all of a sudden, after 3 years, she gets deplatformed. But I don't think it'll be 3 years of, you know what I'm saying, someone coming through. Even a lot of things with YouTube, just the whole just the names of people coming in, I think is incredibly sketchy. I think that a lot of what people call trolls are actually agents and or bots, actual AI that's just running script, or a combination of both. People sending out AI. There's a lot of things about YouTube in and of itself that's really, like, extremely you know what I'm saying? I think they're trying to, you know, play with people's minds. And as far as like Cynthia G, I just think that her presence there was just continuation of that. I think they kind of was testing people's resolve about it. I mean, because again, you can't really demonstrate that. Like, I can't even thumbs down it. I can't do that anymore. I can't demonstrate this is not good. Because I'm supposed to be content with the content. I'm supposed to be full. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be satisfied. I'm supposed to be sated just by watching this, just on the face of it. And so there's a lot of things about YouTube that you know what I'm saying? It's like there's a lot of people, not just a Cynthia G. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's just I see YouTube being shaped. I truly wish that, you know, just habitual things of just like, you know, having better platforms that people can utilize. But the nature of YouTube is that it's basically subsidized by the government, so it's going to have like optimal resources compared to any other platform. I'm sure you're aware of this. You know what I'm saying? It's straight subsidized by the government. It's all kinds of intelligencies running through YouTube and shit. That's why I'm literally saying that a lot of these little names that come through, and matter of fact, a lot of the money that I see people come through, and you'll see the super chats. Look, that's all dark money, yo. There's a lot of people who are just like anonymous people who will give people money just to shape, you know, impulses and response patterns. You know, that's just my opinion. I'm sitting here watching people's channels. I'll see rando with the green name, you know what I'm saying, give $50. And sometimes I'm thinking these are actual people who are trying to be anonymous. I'm like, in utmost sincerity, some of these people are just running game on people, just sending money in, but they'll never do it through like Cash App. They'll always do it through the super app. That's why I know that there's something going on, because you can have the dark money, you know what I'm saying, private people who's just going through the influencing people. And as long as the people, the YouTube person is kind of staying in line, of course they're going to keep getting paid. It's a lot to it. I know that involves Cynthia, and that it kind of veers off from Cynthia G, but like, yeah, like this woman saying like abort black men. I mean, I'm very anti-abortion. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? There's no real, unless it comes down to it. Nah, we don't need to really even, we want healthy women. I want a healthy woman who can give birth to a healthy baby. I don't even think about anything that would result to like not having the child. You know what I'm saying? That's not supposed to be the natural course of action. You know what I'm saying? Like, YouTube is funny style. I'm not gonna sit here and praise the white woman for getting the black woman off. That has nothing to do with anything. And as far as black women being upset about that, look, I mean, if you, that's just, you know what I'm saying, that's just the sign of the times. Like, you are actually upset about this woman. Like, you do realize what she said. This is not like a feeling, you know what I'm saying? This is an actual person expressing concepts, you know what I'm saying, in a very live format. You know what I'm saying? This is not like some alternate universe. It's an actual person. I don't think too many people are upset about it, but those people who are should be ashamed of themselves. I'm gonna go ahead and pass the mic for now.
I appreciate that, IBG. You said some real stuff there. That I guess I could follow up with this question. When it comes to creating positive Pan-African Gaviite content, what is there alternatives for how to, like, for example, is there alternatives for having these conversations like what we have every Saturday night on Shoot the Breeze? If not YouTube, where, in you guys' opinion?
Well, I mean, my thing is like, I don't think that until like YouTube gets really gully and starts just like blanking out people's channels, like, you know, very surreptitiously, like in the various corners of black spaces, like kind of like just winking them out, like very, very unaffiliated, just slowly kind of taking away from the edges. You know what I'm saying? If people could catch on to that, I mean, YouTube is YouTube. I mean, it is what it is. It's the dominant platform, and I mean, it is designed that way. If someone else has a platform, they're going to make YouTube a little bit better. Until, I mean, unless YouTube can get publicly owned, you know what I'm saying, in a very strong way, and I think it kind of already is. It's already, you know what I'm saying, public company, but then, you know what I'm saying, they're going to play that corporate, you know what I'm saying, public-private style, where it's like, well, we're public, but not really. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't think YouTube is necessary. I mean, people should be prepared to use other platforms, but I think that, you know what I'm saying, we the people, you know what I'm saying, should be able to express, should be able to it should tip in the public interest. You know what I'm saying? Like with the disclaimers in the Act of 1976. You know what I'm saying? It's saying we're just, you know what I'm saying, this is for informational purposes, you know what I'm saying? And it tips the, you know what I'm saying, public interest, you know what I'm saying, education tips it, then the balance of public, you know what I'm saying, use. This is you don't want to, we don't want to have to necessarily reinvent the wheel if we don't have to. And I mean, I do think that a parallel site is important. Like it was there's been, I've seen a couple lot of websites. There's an RBG Tube, I remember that. Black Junction, that was there for a minute. All kinds of sites that we, you know, black people have tried, and then, you know what I'm saying, the funny style happens and all of a sudden it gets stopped. Black Avenger, you know what I'm saying, dude cut up, and then, you know what I'm saying, all of a sudden the website's down. It's not black people's fault, you know what I'm saying. Black people get caught up in unfortunate circumstances by another person in specific, and it's like all of black people suffer. That's the moral to the story of this one's like, I don't want to abandon YouTube, but I'm just saying black people need to be a little bit more aware to uncover some of this funny style business that runs through. Because I mean, I'm really convinced that there's some really nefarious actors that run through various YouTube pages. They probably stalking people, all the whole 9 yards, just to interfere with, and just to, you know what I'm saying, just to not make it a natural environment where it's just actual people involved. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I could say that I am old enough to know that one-on-one contact, one-on-one personal engagement, human interaction is a good thing. It's the best form, the highest form of people exchanging ideas and learning from the ideas in which they exchange. I'm old enough to come from that background, but I know that I live in an age where we have been taken from that personal interaction to an electronic one, where people go online now to exchange like personal ideas and opinions about the world. And to a degree, that anonymity is a kind of a good thing, but it also could be a bad thing. The anonymity that we have on the internet is a good thing because people actually say what they actually feeling, their true sentiments, because they could hide behind the ideas of anonymity in one instance. But in another instance, some ideas should not necessarily be within the marketplace. One of the ideas is the promotion of the promotion of the abortion of black male children. That idea should not be present in any marketplace. That's a dangerous idea to be put out there. And it's unfortunate that idea is coming from a woman who looked just like me. And she is not necessarily doing, I don't think that she is necessarily doing it because she is sincere about the ideas of it, but I think that she was solely doing that for profit. And people can say, well, you're a capitalist, so you should really love that kind of thing. Yeah, but I have some barriers in where I would and would not go. I don't believe in pure capitalism. Where anything could be said or done for the mighty dollar. I don't believe in that thing. I think that some things are extremely dangerous. One of which is to promote the death or abortion of black male children. That's a horrible idea to be out into the world. And if a white woman or a Chinese woman or an Asian woman stand against that, I am standing with them. I'm not going to stand with a black woman. Because that's a horrible idea to be put out into the world. Horrible idea. That's one. Two, I agree with RBG. RBG said something that resonated with me. He said that we don't have the YouTube took away the thumbs down button. So now we can't really get a consensus of the people who actually agree with the things, the content that's being said, or disagree with the content that's being said. That was taken away from us, whether it's by social design or intention, or I don't know what they was trying to do when they took away that button. That button needs to be put back there because we really need to know what is the sentiment, and particularly with people who subscribe to that kind of content? What is the sentiments and ideas when these ideas of aborting black male children should be aborted? I want to know in the audience the people like that who actually agree with that, who disagree with that. And to take the thumbs down button is to take that consensus away. I really would like to be aware of that, because I don't know if our people are still sick, in particular the people who subscribe to that kind of nonsense. I want to know to what degree are our people ill and sick psychologically? To what degree? Because if a few black women agree with that sentiment, I could understand that. But if hundreds of thousands of women agree with the abortion of black male children, then I know to the extent of the illness female population within our community. These things have to be discussed. And if it's discussed online through the so-called anonymity of people creating their own names and platforms, and I don't mind that, because sometimes this is the way true sentiments and feelings of people are exposed. Sometimes it's lies, but sometimes honesty comes out when you really get to know or gauge how our people are actually thinking. But I'll leave it there for now. I'll leave it there.
When I don't know what you did, but your sound is coming through crisp. That volume is good, sound is good. I don't know what you did there, but it sounds really good.
I get one Apple iPod. Don't worry.
I'll ask one more follow-up question based on something you guys said and Afrazer said in the chat concerning online versus in person, in each other's living room. Would you want Cynthia G, for example, to have hordes of women sitting in her living room having face-to-face conversations about aborting black male babies? Would you prefer that than her being on YouTube doing it? Anyone can answer.
For me, yes. Because the exposure is limited. You're only limited to those small groups of women. When you come online, you are open not only to the North America, you're open to South America, the entire black world. You're telling them about how the sentiments are, how black women in a specific environment, in a specific space, feel about their black men. Even though you're using the generic term black men, this, black men, you're really referring to North American black men. You're not referring to Caribbean black men or black men from Africa. You are referring to the people the black men who you have interaction with. You know what I mean? So that conversation should be limited if it's a face-to-face kind of conversation. Not only that, you are exposing the world, you're exposing the world, even including your enemies or your competitors, about how you truly feel about your counterpart, your partner, your life's partner. You're exposing the world to that. The Chinese don't do that. You will never hear a Chinese woman saying that I am an advocate of aborting, even though they have the policy. The government, the men have the policy, but the women will never have a policy say we need to abort Chinese male babies or female babies, even though they actually didn't have a policy of it. But that was old Chinese men who was actually doing that. Or you will never hear an Arab woman would say such a thing, nor a Jewish woman. If that's most of the world don't know the particularities of what goes on in them, their personal communities. Most of the world. But we use this tool called online we open. It's almost like we disclose everything and we leave back nothing. There are some things in the Bahamas we say, you say something, you keep some. You say something, and you keep some. Which means you don't expose everything in terms of what you're really thinking to the outside world. Sometimes you keep certain things for yourself so you could deal with it personally. And I think that we are such consumers, we think consumerism is our best friend. So we put everything out there to the world, everything, and we leave back nothing. And these people, them, when they learn these things, they create a science to what's going on in their personal community, and then they weaponize it and use it against you tomorrow, which will happen, which will eventually happen. You know, but I don't know, man. I'll stop there. I'll stop.
In the chat, you guys, if you listen to the playback, make sure you check out the chat. The chat is always very interesting. I can't get to all the comments all the time. But the Hash Rally podcast mentioned that it took away the downvote to incentivize engagement rather than honest and useful discourse, hence the rise of trolls. We got Anthony McPhail, my boy, hit me up earlier on Instagram. He says, peace to the panel on the chat. You guys make sure to check out Arthur Reserve's channel as well. Musician, good brother. Everything as politics says, the collective are clearly in agony, hence all these vitriol. It's a cry for help. A mental health journal. My question is, how can we remedy these issues? It's spilling offline for all to see. That's the thing. I hope that conversations like what we have here would spill offline. You see, I think we prioritize wrong. And so there's people who wouldn't be here, who wouldn't be able to spill these conversations offline, who should be here. I think that's a part of the issue. And then the other part of the issue, I'll be honest with you, I was checking this out this week, man. The so-called conscious community is just corrupt at this point, man. Just rife with bullshitters, grifters, thieves, scammers, and the like, and degenerates, and that's another problem that we have, you know. But that stuff is popular to the masses of our people, you know. That's the wild stuff. Arthur says, I've never heard of this woman before today. A knowledge of her doesn't in any way advance our cause. You've never heard of Cynthia G? That's interesting. Have you heard of Tommy Sotomayor? To me, they were pretty much similar. Everything is politics. Says 100 a few times. Corrupt as fuck. You know, if there's no last words here, let's go to Shoot the Breeze topic number 9 tonight. I want to shout out everyone who's out in the chat tonight. Everything is politics. Thanks for catching us live. Anthony McPhail, thanks for coming through. After Reserve, haven't seen you here in a while. Thanks for passing through today. You know, I appreciate all of you guys. If any one of you, KW Don 7, Trigger Happy 262, of course. If any one of you wants to join the panel, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. Just click it, and you're in.